Oh my goodness, welcome back to another episode of Learn to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Today is episode 4, and we are talking about activation requirements. One thing underneath the umbrella of activation requirements is cost. And again, cost is denoted with the semicolon. So let's take a look at a couple examples. Okay, so let's take a look at Malice White Rabbit as an example. So it says, if this card is normal or special summoned, colon. So that means that this card is activating in order to activate the on summon effect. Another activation requirement that this card has is you can pay 300 life points, semicolon, special summon it. So that again is cost. So after I pay the 300 life points, I can attempt to special summon it, but cost is paid right away. I pay the 300 life points, whether the effect to special summon goes through or not. But it is activating. That is an activation requirement to pay the 300 life points, and that is known as cost. Another thing under the umbrella of activation requirements is targeting. So a great example for targeting as an activation requirement is the Bistrels. So notice Bistral Magnum says you can target one light or dark monster in either graveyard semicolon. So we talked about cost and how yes, semicolon does denote cost. It also denotes activation requirements. This is technically not cost. It is, however, something you have to do in order to activate the effect. The third thing under the umbrella effect of activation requirements is conditions. A good example of conditions as an activation requirement is Canine Lupus. So again, you know a card activates when you see that colon. So if we look at Canine Lupus, it says during your main phase, if your opponent has activated a monster effect in hand or graveyard this turn, quick effect. We're going to talk about quick effects, trigger effects, all of that, but just realize that this is also considered an activation requirement because it is a condition in order to attempt to activate this effect. Super common one condition is SB. So it says when your opponent activates a card or effect. So again, this is an activation requirement. You have to meet the condition, right? You have to meet the condition of your opponent activating a card or effect. Okay, let's review. We have our umbrella. It's called activation requirements. These are the requirements to attempt to activate your card. One of the first activation requirements we have is cost. You can find that with a semicolon. Targeting will also have a semicolon. This is you need to target before the effect is going to go through. Then we also have conditional requirements. So if something happens, when something happens, that tells you, oh, okay, I've met a requirement in order to attempt to activate the card. So these are the requirements to activate the effect of the card.